Hello and welcome back to EPG. I am Greg, your host, coming to you from beautiful New Orleans, Louisiana. That's right, I'm back home for a bit. So I wanted to do something special for my 100th episode, so I wanted to give you a local pub crawl of this beautiful city. Let's get to it. We got a lot to cover. So all the places that I'm recommending I have actually been to. I'm not, being paid for endorsements or anything. These are places that I like and I hope that you enjoy as well. That being said, there are dozens and dozens, if not hundreds of bars in this city. I will give you just a small sampling. If your favorite neighborhood bar does not make my list, that does not mean that I do not like it. That just means that I haven't enjoyed it yet. So if there are any bars that don't make my list that you see and you want to share with me your favorite bar, please mention that in the comments. So, first bar on my list is located right here, and this is the Maple Leaf, which is also a very good music venue. This is located in the Uptown area on Oak Street. This is a really happening club. They have local acts all the time, but when Red Hot Chili Peppers came to town a couple of years ago, after they performed in the New Orleans Arena downtown, Flea came here and sat in on a set at like 1 in the morning. So you never know what you're going to see when you go to the Maple Leaf. Great place, highly recommended. So continuing on Oak Street, we have two bars here. This one is Ale, and its sister bar right back there is Oak. So I call them the brother-sister bar of Oak Street because Ale is for beer and Oak is for wine. So it's a kind of draft beer and a wine bar, and they share a beautiful courtyard right there where people can get together. And here we are down on Willow Street, just a couple blocks away from Oak, and behind me is Carrollton Station, which is a lovely bar and music venue. It has a fantastic hardwood bar that you can sit at. It has a stage for local performances and also a patio in the back. And this place is also a good segue to the real Carrollton Station. This is where the streetcars come to be serviced and repaired. So streetcars are also the most economical way to get around the city. It is a streetcar, not a trolley. Nothing will gain you the ire faster of a local by calling it a trolley. It is not. It is a streetcar. It is $1.25 to go from Carrollton all the way down to the city, down St. Charles. There are two lines. The other one is on Canal. It is basically one of the best, most economical ways to get around the city, especially if you've had too much to drink and you don't want to pay for an Uber or a taxi. Just get on the streetcar. I will say that they are not incredibly reliable, but there are apps available that have, they've attached GPS trackers to some of the streetcars so that you can actually find out when it's going to show up. It will require exact change, so make sure you have your $1.25 ready to go. And right behind me, right here, we have Cuda Browns, which is a lovely little bar. It has quite a beer selection, lots of good seating, great place to come and get some pictures with your friends, and also kind of unique in Louisiana, you can get a to-go cup, and then you can head up to the levee and overlook the Mississippi River, which is right back there. And what would a pub crawl be without a little fun culture thrown in? So right behind me, right here, is the house of John Kennedy Toole, who was the author of a very famous book regarding New Orleans called A Confederacy of Dunces, for which he won the Pulitzer Prize in fiction. It's a wonderful book about all the interesting characters that habitate this interesting city. So if you are coming here, I would definitely suggest picking up a copy and giving it a read so it can thoroughly prepare you for what you will see. So we are on Maple Street at a place I like to call the Triumvirate, because right behind me we have a place called Red's, which is kind of a collegey bar. There's pool, there's darts, a whole bunch of fun stuff. Over here we have TJ Quills, which is, I would say, a bit more of a party place where co-eds like to come and get their drink and their dance on. And then we have Bruno's, which is a sports bar, which has a lot of college games, very clean, lots of great staff there. They have pool tables, darts, all the fun stuff. Further down Maple Street, we have a little place called Phillips, which is right here. It is, I want to say, a little bit more upscale. A lot of parties have been here, a couple rap parties that I've been a part of. So if you're looking for a place that's a little less collegey, a little bit more adult, I would suggest coming to Phillips. All right, we are very, very close to campus. So right behind me is Palms, which is a lovely little bar, which I spent a lot of time in when it was under a different name called Waldo's. But it's still basically the same thing. One addition that they have in the Palms is that there is a dancing pole that people can get on and dance. So it's a lot of fun. I didn't do it, but I've seen people do it. Right behind me is the quintessential college bar, The Boot. I've spent many nights here, having lots of fun with my friends. So the interesting thing about this place is that in the 2 weeks of Mardi Gras, they make the entire nut for the year. So you can imagine how much volume they are dealing with. The Boot. And just to let you know how close it is to campus, that's campus. That's The Boot. Campus, Boot, campus. So we're kind of out of the general vicinity of campus. We're still close. This is Frenchmen Street. You could technically walk here, but I wouldn't suggest it. Uber, take a cab, something. Anyway, the bar behind me is called Cooter, and this is possibly one of the classier places that is still technically within walking distance of campus. If you're looking to impress somebody, bring them here. They have great cocktails, great mixologists. Yeah, so this is definitely the place you want to take someone if you want to impress them. Well, we're now in a neighborhood called Mid-City, which is right outside of the area where we just were. Admittedly, I haven't spent a lot of time here, but I have come to a few places here, and this one right here, McCools, is a fantastic Irish pub. So if you're in Mid-City, check out McCools. And here's another fun place in Mid-City called Bayou Beer Garden. They have a gigantic patio out back, so this is the place to come in summer, but you can also enjoy it in winter because this building up here is an enclosed bar that you can, go enjoy. Bayou Beer Garden. So now we're starting on what I call the Magazine Corridor. There are a lot of bars located on Magazine Street that cuts all the way through the city. So we are on the far side of Audubon Park, and the first one on the Magazine Corridor is this one called Monkey Hill. Now, Monkey Hill is, I would say, it's a bit more relaxed than a lot of the other college bars, even though we're very close to the college area. It's a generally older crowd. It's quieter. There's loungy. There's a lot of kind of couches and things that people, lounge out on. So yeah, if you're looking for a place to relax, Monkey Hill. And here, further down Magazine Street, we have St. Joe's, which is a neighborhood bar that I really like. A great patio in the back, lots of Chinese lanterns, and it also serves kind of a, family history point because at this bar is where my sister and my now brother-in-law first met. So I'm not saying you're going to fall in love when you get to New Orleans, but it is a very large possibility. Here I am outside of Le Bon Temps, which is a music venue, but also a bar, and it caters to a lot of local bands that kind of come here. Small venue, but it's intimate, and they put on a lot of great shows here. But possibly one of my favorite parts of this bar is that it was also the bar of possibly the most notorious New Orleanian to ever exist. So over here we have Miss May's, which is definitely a college favorite for a lot of people, even if it is further away from campus. And the reason for that is that it has incredibly cheap drinks, even for a city notorious for cheap drinks. And here we are at the Bouligny Tavern, further down Magazine. This is possibly this bit classier place. These are where people dress up to come have a couple drinks with their friends, work colleagues, or whatever. But yeah, no, this is where the young and the beautiful of this part of New Orleans come to drink. Here I am outside of the Bulldog, which is one of my favorite bars in this part of town. They have a lot of good quality beers on tap. They also have a lovely patio out here, especially when it gets very hot. And you can even bring your dog. And here's another one of my faves here on Magazine Street, Balcony Bar. It's really great to be up there, having a drink, looking out over the city, definitely in the summertime. So yeah, come out to Balcony Bar. But here I am outside of Rendezvous Tavern, which is another kind of, I don't want to say neighborhood bar on Magazine Street. There's no frills in there, but if you need a beer, you need to sit down with some friends, get a pitcher, that's the place to go, Rendezvous Tavern. And here we are outside of Commander's Palace on Washington Avenue. This is a New Orleans institution. It is one of my favorite and best restaurants in the city. I've had my graduation dinner here. I've had birthdays, met lots of friends, and just wanted to show people a good time in the city. But the reason why it's made my list is that it has a lovely bar, and it gives you a very unique Goodfellas vibe because you need to go through the kitchen to get there. So if you're looking to have a great dinner, come to Commander's Palace and grab a drink. Here I am outside of Kingpin on Britannia Street, and I will say this is my favorite neighborhood bar in the entire city. When I first came here, I was I didn't have a good mindset. You know, I was upset about a couple things, and I sat down at the bar, and without saying a word, the bartender put a beer down in front of me and said, "This one's on the house." And it was great. And I came here many, many times. And then when I was getting ready to leave the city for a while, sat back down, you know, and the bartender brought me a beer and said, "This one's on the house." So much like in the video I posted about Dublin, where you don't find a bar finds you, this bar found me. So now we have entered what I call the Tchoupitoulas corridor. Say it after me, Tchoupitoulas. And the first stop on the Tchoupitoulas corridor is this lovely place, F&M's. This is kind of a off-campus college bar. So a lot of the upperclassmen, the juniors and the seniors that have cars, they come here. This is a hot spot for a lot of parties for sororities and fraternities. And one of the kind of crowning achievements of the place is that they let you dance on the pool tables. But I will say, as a word of caution, if you've had too much, don't get on the pool table because you will fall off, and I have seen it more than once. So, F&M's. And behind me you see Tipitina's, further down the Tchoupitoulas corridor. This is one of the best music venues in the entire city. Anybody who's anybody performs here. It has a great stage, great setup, great bar, great staff, great everything, great. No trip to New Orleans is complete without taking a stop to Tipitina's. So definitely put this on your agenda. You will not be sorry. Further down the Tchoupitoulas corridor, we have Port Orleans, which is a local brewery. Now, one of the things that happened after Katrina was that a lot of local brewers and distillers popped up over the city to bring some much-needed lifeblood back. And this place happens to also have a bar, Port Orleans. And to round out the Tchoupitoulas corridor, we, of course, had to stop at the Chop Yard. This is a great place to come if you have a large group of people. It's really a huge patio out back. They have fire pits in wintertime, cold drinks all the time, and they also have an enclosed bar if you don't want to brave the cold. But yeah, no, this is a fantastic place, and I'm going to give you a little sneaky sneak inside. So yeah, that's what it looks like. All right, here I am outside of Atchafalaya, which is a wonderful, wonderful restaurant. And the reason why it's made my list is because they do something called, basically what they've said is a vodka salad bar, where they have a Bloody Mary bar for their brunches. And basically it's like adult Jenga. You get a Bloody Mary and you can put, or try to put, as much stuff as you can. I'm talking celery, bacon, blue cheese, shrimp. I even think I saw a fried chicken there once, roasted chicken, rotisserie chicken. But yeah, it's really, your imagination is the limit. They have red Bloody Marys, they have yellow Bloody Marys, green Bloody Marys, and then yeah, you just make your own Frankenstein creation of a Bloody Mary. Cannot recommend this place enough. So we are officially on what now I call the St. Charles corridor. So it's a whole string of bars, restaurants, hotels that go down St. Charles Avenue. First on this list is Fat Harry's, which is just a great little bar, and possibly one of the best places to watch the Mardi Gras parades, because let me show you. Down here, this intersection is Napoleon and St. Charles, and this is where all the parade route turns to come down St. Charles. And if you're really into getting beads, they have these things here that you can stand on. But make sure that you are, how should I say, very balanced to do that, because if you fall, it will not be good. So anyway, Fat Harry's. All right, here I am outside of the Chloe, which is a great boutique hotel located on St. Charles Avenue. They have a great hotel bar. It is quiet. They have great mixologists. There is plenty of seating, especially out in their little lobby area. And yeah, if you're looking for a quiet place to chill, this is definitely in the top running for that in New Orleans. Here I am outside of another New Orleans landmark, the Columns Hotel. If it looks familiar, that's because it was featured in the film Pretty Baby, starring a very young Brooke Shields. Anyway, this is one of my favorite spots in the city for a meetup point, especially the bar inside. It is quiet. They serve a lovely Sazerac, probably the best Sazerac in the city. So if you're interested in trying one, definitely do it here. Great atmosphere, quiet. Yeah, you can actually carry on a conversation with somebody in here. So if you're looking to do that, come to the Columns Hotel. So behind me, right here, is Superior Grill, which is a Mexican restaurant and has the best margaritas in town. So if you're looking to get your marg on, this is the place. So here I am standing in front of Della Chase Wine Bar. This is definitely a great place to come, just relax, have a glass of wine. unwind with friends, and actually a little piece of personal history. I had a drink with Wendell Pierce when I was here. So again, as I say, you do not know who or what you're going to see when you're in New Orleans. So this is Delachase Wine Bar. And just down the street from Delachase, we have the Sovereign Pub, which is a lovely British pub. They serve pints, they serve crisps, and yeah, if you are coming in from the great UK and miss home a little bit, come to Sovereign Pub. And just around the corner from Sovereign Pub, we have Britannia Bar, which is another nice little neighborhood bar. Here I am outside of Eigor's, which definitely has the most personality of any bar on St. Charles. And not only that, they have a laundromat too, so you can grab some drinks, wash your clothes. Yeah, so Eigor's. All right, here I am outside the Pontchartrain Hotel, which in my opinion has one of the best hotel bars in the city. That is called Tin Roof, and not surprisingly, it's located on the roof. It has one of the best views of the city, a panoramic of downtown New Orleans. But yeah, it's also where kind of the young and the beautiful come and hang out, especially when they're traveling into the city and need a picture that's perfect for the gram. So Tin Roof at the Pontchartrain Hotel. So we are in the central business district where a lot of the hotels are located outside of the French Quarter. So this bar behind me, the Red Eye Grill, is one of the favorites of people who kind of mid-20s. They come, it's basically kind of like a college bar, but you know, around lots of businesses. So yeah, Red Eye. All right, a couple doors down from Red Eye, we have Republic, which is where basically the young and the beautiful of New Orleans come to party. It's more of a dance club than a bar. There is a bar, you can get drinks, there are also a bunch of beautiful people. So yeah, that is where you go if you want to, you know, kind of dance the night away. So yeah, currently I'm down in the French Quarter, which, let's face it, a lot of people who come to visit the city, this is where they end up. So yeah, I'm gonna give you a little tour. And here we are on Decatur Street, right outside of Molly Malone's, which is another Irish pub located down here in the French Quarter. So here I am located outside of Pat O'Brien's, which is a French Quarter institution, some of the best hurricanes that you can get in this city. One of the things that I like about this place is the patio that they have. They have a flaming fountain there, so you try to figure that one out. But the thing I like most about it is the piano bar that they have inside. Yeah, this is definitely a place that you need to come if you're down here in the French Quarter. So here I am outside of Tony Seville's Pirates Alley, which is, Pirates Alley is the name of one of the streets that runs down the side of the cathedral, and the reason why I like it so much is because it has absinthe on tap, sort of. Here I am outside of Hotel Montleon, which has one of the coolest bars in the whole city, and it is Carousel Lounge. So the bar is on a turntable and it rotates one time per hour, so you can be sitting in one place and see the whole bar and see everybody in it. So it's a great, fun, classy place to take somebody or just yourself. I'm just saying, if you are on Bourbon Street and you have the need to go to one, I would definitely suggest Hustler Club. Just saying. I've only heard good things. So here's another bar we have on Bourbon Street called Saints and Sinners. I believe its current owner is still Channing Tatum. The thing I love about coming down to drink down here is that you never know who you're going to run into. Sorry for the noise, but here I am outside of the world-famous karaoke bar known as Cat's Meow. So if you have an itch to do some karaoke when you're on Bourbon Street, this is the place to come. It is also webcast live all over the world, but I will need to ask for some prestige worldwide rules. So here I'm outside of the world-famous Tropical Isle. The reason why it's world-famous is because it sells a very particularly powerful drink called the hand grenade. Yes, if you are on Bourbon Street, you will see somebody walking around with a hand grenade, but you can also see that you don't need to go into the bar. You can actually just come right up here and put down your money. And believe me, it's led to the ruin of many a poor boy. Okay, here I am outside of one of the gay clubs on Bourbon Street called Oz. It's very famous. I have been in there once just to humor some friends of mine that were in town. And yeah, no, it was great not having to buy drinks. New Orleans is a very LGBTQ friendly city. So yeah. Come here and have fun. Which brings me to not only my favorite bar in the French Quarter, but possibly my favorite bar in the entire world. This is Lafitte's Blacksmith Shop. So Jean Lafitte was a New Orleans pirate who basically ran this place as a front because, most criminals need a front business. So this was his blacksmith shop and then got turned into a bar. There's been a bar ever since. And one of the things I really like about it is that at nighttime, they have candles there. There's no artificial light except for, what's demanded by the state. But yeah, no, it's a great place to go. There's a piano bar in the back, a really cozy Really nice, very authentic New Orleans, very authentic French Quarter. So yeah, no trip is complete here without a stop to Lafitte's Blacksmith shop. So now we're in a neighborhood called the Marigny, which is just outside of the French Quarter, and this is where the locals come to party. And one of the places they do that is right here at our bar. This is one of my favorite bars in the whole city. Great staff, great drinks, everything is cheaper than in other parts of the city. Great crowd, and as you can see, they're already preparing for Mardi Gras right over here at the porta potties. So yeah, if you have a chance, get to our bar. So back across the street from me is Checkpoint Charlie. So if you are not really into the whole like jazz scene of New Orleans, that is a more rock club that they have here. And while you're sipping some drinks, you can also do your laundry because they have laundromats there. Checkpoint Charlie. So now I'm located on the world famous Frenchmen Street, also down in the Marigny. So right over here we have my favorite music club in the entire city, and that is the Spotted Cat. Very great drinks, very great people, reasonable cover, especially, you know, based on what you're able to see. Lots of New Orleans jazz, lots of great performers that come in. So yeah, definitely hit up the Spotted Cat. Just want to say thank you very much for joining me on my pub crawl of one of my most favorite cities in the world. Thank you very much for your time, and get out there.